All right, all right, all right. Let's get this thing started. Where is it? I think it's this one, right? I think it's that one. That's the one to get us started. Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It's so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is February 17th, 2025. We're going to write a little bit of code today. We're going to write a lot of code today. I've got some ideas that I want to go through. I want to show you and talk through on stream and build some cool stuff here. I've got my Eagles championship hat here. It arrived just after stream on Thursday. I didn't make it to the parade on Friday, but watched a lot of it on television. Kind of glad I wasn't there. Would have liked to have been there, but kind of glad I wasn't. Uh-oh, here we go. And it looks like my audio is still a little bit hinky. Not quite set up the way that we want it to. There you go. Take a look at that hat. Ice cream stick model with the hat request there. Give me 1 second. Why didn't we hear the alert coming through there, huh? We're going to take a quick peek. No, that looks good. And it's always right after there's a patch. Always the audio just
Oh my.
doesn't quite line up right coming through. There we go. That should be better. We should be on track with that now. Yeah, it's my Super Bowl. Nope, not Super Bowl 52. It's Super Bowl 59. So, that's not what it says. It doesn't say Super Bowl 52 champions on it. You're wrong there. Hey, McNets, hello to you. How's it going there? C# Titan and Napalm Codes. Welcome in. Welcome in. Let me head over to the code. We can start talking about some of the things that we're going to do here today. I want to dive in a little bit more to the next milestone that I had planned out here for SharpSight. I have it's President's Day here in the States. It's not a day for the current president. It's a day to remember the two presidents that made so much of a difference in the founding and advancement of the Civil War and the relief of the slaves in this country. Washington and Lincoln. That's what we're celebrating today. Not the current guy. The current guy is going to tell you it's all about him, but it's not. I'm going to get some music playing in the background here. This is called Echoes of Time. This is this is a synthwave playlist from Stream Beats. It's groovy music that's great to have in the background as we're writing code together and learning. What? So big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for this music that we're putting together. We're listening to today. How you doing there, Surly Dev? A friend asks, is my P.O. box still active? Yes. They may have been out on Saturday and seen something, thought of me and bought. Oh, that's very kind. Yes, my P.O. box is active. I check it once every 2 weeks or so. And I typically check it on Saturday mornings. So there's there every now and again there's folks will send me postcards or other tchotchkes, and I'm happy to share and say thank you if somebody thinks of me and sends something my way. Yes. So, how you doing there, Phil Vesey? Hello. I saw Phil. Was it your message in Discord? Is that the one that I saw about? Where did it go? Yeah, about the Azure functions in Aspire. I actually did that. I didn't do it on stream, but I did that about 3 weeks ago. I converted a bunch of services that run Aspirify.net to Azure functions running in .NET Aspire, and that's been pretty good stuff. So, I really like that configuration. The only thing that I would warn people about is that the default deployment that comes with is to deploy those Azure functions not as an app service where you're going to be charged on the flexible payment, but they're deployed as a container app. So you're going to be charged the container rate. It's two different things. One is very inexpensive for low traffic, and the other would be more expensive, $10-$20 American versus pennies for the number of times that it would run. So there's a difference there that you do need to know about, and how you get it packaged and deployed then, if you want to run it as an app service, is different. It's not something that comes in the box. You're going to have to write your own script to do that. So you haven't gotten anywhere near deployments yet. Okay, just getting the functions running and being integrated with the whole .NET Aspire experience is fantastic. It is an amazing experience. It's really nice. I know a lot of folks are asking for that deployment of functions as an app service, and you can do it the exact same way you're deploying today. You just need to be aware, if you ask AZD to deploy it, it's going to put it out there as a container app. So I wanted to take a look and dive into some of these things to work on the startup experience. We've been building this application called SharpSite. It's a content management system. It's a blog. It's a website that you can build and work at here. TagsApp doesn't do that kind of deployment. There is no deployment actually built into TagsApp. So, I'm trying to think, where's there a good deployment configuration that I can point you to? Aspirify is the best one I have. And TagsApp has a function app in it, but it's not set up to deploy with Aspire. So it's a little bit different. So SharpSite is a content management system that we've been building. Hey, Frank, there's our friend Frank. Hello. That we've been building here slowly on stream for over the last 3-4 months, and we're into what I'm calling milestone 0.7. And I want to establish what that startup experience is. Give us something that when you first start the application prompts you with, here's the default user, here's the default password, and prompts you to either reset it or gives you the various configuration options that you're going to want to get your application started. There's, whether you're starting from inside of a container, we finished that last time, so that this builds a container when it finishes putting together a release. It releases a container. Now, why didn't I get that audio either? McNets with the resub, bringing that Prime sub, 18 months with us. This happens with OBS. It just kind of decides not to make all the audio available. Thank you so much for the support. Hello, Allure the Crow. Working on a bank holiday, of course. Just because the bank isn't doing anything with money today doesn't mean that I can't write code. Know what I mean? Codebase Alpha, hello. You should have gotten this. You should have gotten the sound on that. I saw it playing the sound. I didn't get it. Right, if I go back over to, it's Stream Elements that I use for that. My checks aren't cashed, I don't work. That's what some folks will say, yes. Yep. What? That's funny. Yeah. Stream Elements wants me to update and give them a whole bunch of information now. Hey. And they're detecting and showing the wrong information from the browser. So that's wonderful. That's great. Yeah, and they changed their stuff here. Yeah, sure. What did I do with this? Is it this one? Yeah, how dare they make us earn a paycheck, right? Your boss is rude, so he makes you work all day, and his bosses are even worse. The cats, of course. Right, I think that's the right one, isn't it? I can't tell. I'm not going to fiddle with that. All right. I'm going to move on. So when you start up that container for the first time, when the application is installed, what does that experience give you? Right? There's a little bit of hand-holding startup wizard experience that I'd like to introduce that is going to grow with the application as more features are added, as more customization is available. And I want that experience to be there from the get-go for folks. And we can also start looking at this. Let's build an installation by letting folks just extract and put down an installation on disk, right? That's an interesting and should be simple way for folks to just say, hey, here's my .NET application. Just put it here. And when it starts up, we put them through that startup experience. The startup experience isn't going to be complete because we've taken the last two milestones and we've pivoted away from working on plugins for a little bit. We're going to need to come back and start building our plugin storefront in probably the next milestone, so that when this installation, when this out-of-box startup experience happens, and you start to say, you know what, I do want to configure with this feature and that feature and this theme and that theme, we need somewhere to get those, to put them down and enable that initial configuration so that the application runs the way that you want it to. So that's why I think we're going to start with this very simple startup experience that says, here's the initial user ID and password for admin. Would you like to change them? And then hand off to that initial setup and startup. We're also going to introduce a default theme. We're going to get a default theme into the box here so that there's something and then hopefully we're going to publish this at some point. Probably not today, but we're going to go through and really hammer on some of these things. Now, there were a couple of issues that were opened over the past few days from folks like you out there, viewers with ideas, feedback that I want to talk about. Some of these are really good. Some of these we'll take a shot and maybe we'll include in this release or the next release as some bug fixes or some small enhancements. But let's talk about these and prioritize. So first one here is dates not being set. Dates are not being saved when creating posts in the past. Create a new blog post, set the date to sometime in the past. Save the post and visit the homepage. The date should be saved with the post. The date on the post is not set to the current date. Okay. That's definitely a thing. Let's mark it as a bug and let's put it into the milestone that we're going to work on, and we'll add this into the mix. I didn't set a project yet. We'll get back to that. So this feels like it's a miss, and we can definitely write a playwright test to get that working. Add the ability to delete a post. There's no way to delete a post. Yeah, okay. That's that's something that should be easy to do. We'll add that as an enhancement, and we'll put it on this milestone as well. That's not too bad. Add an API project. And thoughts about adding an API project to the system and use it instead of code in the web directly. This will be another service that you could be injected into pages, but being an API, I realized I have my coffee over here, would allow you to interact with the system externally. There's a lot of thoughts here. Right, instead of building a page here, we already have a bit of an API, a repository that goes and allows you to get and interact with posts. So adding that we didn't hear that one either. Which tells me yeah, I thought I fixed the attention one. Yeah, it still says the wrong. Heard that alarm, but it didn't hear the other one. Yeah, it is. It didn't pick it up there. Yeah, I didn't set the project command yet. I'll set that in a little bit here. This sounds like building a series of APIs so that if you want, you can interact with getting and interacting with data directly. I see that as something that folks are going to want to turn on and turn off and secure. This is a bigger thing here. So I'm going to label this as epic and provide a little bit of that feedback. Let's see if voice access works now, because there was a Windows patch that I applied. Let's see if it's going to work this time. Is it going to is it going to type this time? No, it doesn't look like it's going to type in the text box. Okay, that's still really broken. Thanks so much, voice access. I don't know why. It's clearly, like, you can see it up there. Right, there it is. Right here at the top of the screen. It's in sleep mode. I'll take it out of sleep mode, turn the microphone on. Type some text in this text box. Start the Notepad application. Type some text in Notepad. No. It's clearly hearing what I'm dictating, but it's not doing anything with it, and you can see it up here on the top. Yeah. So I always provide feedback. Voice access does nothing with the text it detects. And there's nothing here at all. Nah, this isn't the online browsing platform. No, no. With voice access activated, when I dictate to it my spoken words are transcribed accurately. However, it does nothing with the text. Problem. No, not install an update. This is an accessibility feature. No, 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 no. Important functionality. Yep, recreate the problem. I'm gonna have Notepad running. I'm dictating words that I would like it to type into Notepad. Nothing happens with this text. Please type this in Notepad. This feels horribly broken. It was working very well. But in the last two releases, literally completely broken and doesn't do anything anymore. And it's really accurate, much more accurate than the previous voice dictation feature. But now it's just awful. I don't know what happened. Is it me? Is it something I don't have configured right? It's clearly detecting my text. But anyways, let's see here. This is a bigger project introducing an API with ability means we will want to add the ability to, now let's put some text here with this. Activate, deactivate API endpoints. Really? No. Authenticate endpoints. What else? Nope, not on my Microsoft device. No security permissions there. It's clearly detecting the text, it's just not typing it. Rate limiting, yeah, that's another good one. Cores, configuration of APIs. Right? Documentation is kind of required. It's par for the course. It's not something that I think we need to specifically call out. There we go. We heard that time. Chris Funk.
Just resubscribed for 44 months.
44 months. Wow. Thank you so much, Chris Funk. Let's plan for this in a future milestone. Like, not saying no, but there's a lot to configure there. Pagination, we haven't even gotten into API design. So that kind of thing, yes. But there's a whole design that needs to happen as part of that you're not wrong about. So the voice access, it isn't a browser issue. I was in Notepad. It's not a permission issue because I'm running on my own machine. I'm full admin access here. I should be able to type in everything. So adding an API project, it's a good idea, but it's not an idea for right now. I want to get minimum viable so that folks can start using this. And getting that initial startup configuration so that when you download it, it walks you through, here's how to get started. And that initial theme is going to go a long way to help with that. Another thing that was brought to my attention that I thought was really cool last week, Allure report. Have you seen this? Have I seen White Panther's work about voice typing? No. This is a automation test reporting tool that will, after you run your tests, generate some really cool reports for you about how your tests ran and what they're related to, and it allows you to publish them. This looks very cool. This looks like something that would be really, really cool to integrate into our playwright tests, so that for integration testing, we can have some very, very nice reporting that goes with and says, here's how things have been turning out here. So it generates one single HTML file. You can run it on a local web server. I don't want to do that. I want to publish it as HTML to somewhere with the GitHub project so that we can serve that as an artifact when people look at a release. So I think this is very, very compelling. There's integrations available that work with GitHub Actions for building and publishing reports. So I want to dig into this more and learn more about it. They publish it as a GitHub page so that GitHub's internal web server is delivering it. I want that HTML file to be published as an artifact so that it's easy from the pull request, from the GitHub action that completed, to click through and see that report. What's White Panther doing about voice typing? Like, this should work in Windows. It's worked for a long time in Windows. Like, Windows G was the thing. I'm sorry, Windows H was the thing, and there it is, right? Like, did they put it back into Windows H? Is it back running in this thing again? Oh, look at that. All right. This was disabled for a preview release or two, and it ran me back into voice access. I'm glad that that's working again, because at least we have something. Pink Panthers, Pink Partners. Okay. So, we'll explore and dig into this. Something happened to our hands and started using that tech more and more, learning different options. Marcus Voice Coder talks about typing with voice, and Marcus, I'm assuming Marcus it uses he, him, but he refers to coding in Visual Studio with his voice. Much respect to Marcus and the feedback that Marcus brings us for accessibility as we've been building projects in this channel has been invaluable. So I very much appreciate when we do have those perspectives brought, and absolutely I'm all ears when it comes to accommodating and providing capabilities for that, because it ends up providing improved features and functionality for folks who don't need voice typing capabilities, for one example, right? So installation, getting started documentation goes with, I think all three of these go together. A default theme to start, I think, is fantastic to get there. CodeRush is doing voice coding work. So let me back up, because the voice type text-to-speech is a thing we're talking about here a little bit. How are they getting audio from the mic, text-to-speech, speech to text? How are they getting it transcribed? Because one of the features I want to put into Project Charlie is I want it to listen for a key phrase for me. Nah, I don't want to use Azure. The Azure service, when you're working with it, is listening to all that text, to all that audio, and you're bouncing all of it off of Azure. Alternating modes by pressing different control keys while doing certain parts of speech. Like, I know you can run the Whisper model locally to do it. I'd really like to be able to hook somebody else's service that's doing it, somebody else's API, and be able to just point to an audio device and say, listen to this, and start listening to this, and give me the text from it. Like, that's what I really want as a higher level developer. I don't want to have to go and write the code that's going to listen for a second of audio, send it to transcribes, listen for next second, transcribe. I'll have to tune into him in 26 hours time. Or I can reach out to him. I might happen to have a couple ways to reach out and communicate. So yeah, I want to be able to, one of the features, I want to be able to dictate commands to the chatbot in the next version. So I want to be able to do things like say, hey, Charlie, start a Pomodoro. And it starts a Pomodoro timer. I've almost finished the message queuing system for it. I've got some other AI things that I've built into it. It's coming along. Only using tools to help her coding. She didn't build the tool. Okay, yeah. And much respect to her. I'm sorry to hear something happened. I haven't been able to catch up with the details over there. Hey, Torvik. Is it really important for a junior developer to understand in all the details how the garbage collector works? No. It's not important for a junior developer to know all the ins and outs of how a garbage collector works. I would say it is important to know that there's a garbage collector and that the garbage collector pauses processing while it's reclaiming content that does need to be garbage collected. What's the purpose of the garbage collector? What's it doing? That pause is important to understand. And knowing that there are ways to mitigate garbage collection by instead of creating reference types, creating value types that don't need to be garbage collected. That's going to go a long way when you need to create higher performant applications. That said, a junior developer shouldn't be making some of those design decisions between I'm using value types, I'm using reference types, but should be guided by the senior developer folks to say, hey, you know what? We prefer to use structs for these things so that we have those value types so that it reclaims and we use less memory. And consequently, when the garbage collector does run, it is less of a pause in our processing. That said, I defy you to tell me when the garbage collector is running in .NET. The modern garbage collector, you won't notice running. Most folks won't notice the modern garbage collector running. Mila, how you doing there? Greetings to you. Appreciate you using the pronouns plugin there. There is a pronouns plugin a couple of pronouns plugins that I do keep an eye on in chat. If you have preferred pronouns that you want me to use, I am happy to use them. No requirement for you to use the pronouns plugins, but if you do have it running in your browser, I am more than happy to use those appropriately. Thank you. Penflinger, what if I change jobs frequently? Is that okay, or would that look bad on your resume relative to software development? Asks Penflinger. What is frequently to you? Are you changing jobs more frequently than completing a project? How long does a project take? That's up to you to decide. Are you changing jobs once a month? Once every 3 months? 6 months? Once a year? No, that's not too bad. That's not bad at all. No. There would be a question that would come up, and this question has come up. There's a number of folks who have done that type of job hopping between my employer and other companies. The question has come up with some of these folks who literally change jobs every 6 to 12 months. Why don't you stick around long enough for your annual review? That's a question that you'll need to be able to answer. Annual review comes at the end of the year. Why don't you stick around long enough for an annual review? If you have a good answer for that, fantastic. You're set. But that's something that has come up among my colleagues. Hey, that's great. Look at these folks. They've got a ton of experience working at this company and that company and this company. They've worked at Google and Facebook and Amazon and Microsoft and IBM. That's fantastic. Look at all that experience. But they haven't been at any of those companies longer than 6 to 9 months. Some of those companies, you don't even vest your first round of stock grants from your new hire money in 6 to 9 months. So what happened? If you can justify why that jump happens, you're good. You're good. But seeing that once or twice, hey, you got a better deal, something big was happening, you had a breakthrough, fantastic. Okay, that makes sense. If you don't, well, what happened there? But help us understand, because if we're going to invest the time and money to hire you, we don't want you to leave in 6 months. 6 months, we're barely through the first project. If I change job, you're welcome, Torvik. You failed your last technical interview because you didn't answer about generations of garbage collector. In 2025, it's my opinion that a junior developer doesn't need to know the generations of garbage collector. If somebody's asking about that, they're nitpicking. They're trying to find something to separate you from someone else. Which cases would you prefer, structs instead of classes? You want to do something that is very low memory utilization. You're not allocating memory to the heap, right? When we think about how .NET, right? We're talking about .NET development here. .NET has two ways that it allocates memory, to the stack and to the heap. Memory that's allocated to the stack is reclaimed when that process goes out of scope. You complete executing a method. Everything that was allocated to the stack is immediately released. A class that you were working with is no longer used. It goes out of scope. It immediately releases everything that's on the stack. Now, that class, though, that reference is on the heap because it's a reference type. So, in order for that to be reclaimed and released back to memory, the garbage collector has to run. Now, the garbage collector isn't going to run until it feels memory pressure, right? So if you've got a machine with 16 gigs of memory and you're using a half a gig for your application running, it's not going to run the garbage collector. It's not going to run the garbage collector for a while because it doesn't feel pressure. Until it feels pressure, will it actually go and garbage collect? Frank says, I changed job every 2 years for a little while. I was similar, every 2 years. Early in my career, about every 2 years. Frank was asked about it in interviews. I had good, legit reasons, and I didn't cause any issues. There you go. Right? I changed jobs every 2 years early in my career because early in my career, there was the land rush there for folks that were building websites and internet-facing applications. So I changed jobs because I went from one company that was building a cool app that was facing the internet to the next company, to an enterprise company, to a consulting firm, to a company that was building the next internet-facing app that I thought was cool. And doing that, I had, justification that I wanted to advance my career. I wanted to try something different. I wanted to move in a direction and pursue opportunities that this employer wasn't giving me because that wasn't their business model. I learned everything I had learned there, and I wanted to grow in a different way. Those are good reasons why you change jobs that employers will appreciate. Hey, I was offered a better salary to do a job that I was more interested in. That's a fine reason also. So, how many senior devs can explain generational garbage collection in any detail? Not many, if you ask me, Fuel Snable. Allure says, I'm typically very open about the fact that I change jobs because I want more money. That's not a bad answer. It's the frequency that you change jobs for more money. That's what'll get folks concerned. If you're changing jobs because you want more money every 6 months, what's going on there? You should have been rewarded for a good job at the end of that year, right? Anything less than a year, folks are going to look at it and say, why didn't you stick around for the review and bonus or pay increase? Like, what happened there? So, if an interview asked Surly Dev to describe the inner workings of the garbage collector, I'd say that if I had to reinvent the wheel or write a garbage collector, then that's not on the kind of project I'd get joy working on. I hear you, but at the same time, there's an understanding of how the garbage collector works that a senior developer or an application architect should know so that you can make appropriate decisions about how memory is used in your application. How the memory is used, how it's released in memory-intensive situations is going to be important. Are you building an application where that's important? In the context of the question, a junior developer shouldn't be that concerned other than the garbage collector reclaims memory when there is memory pressure, when we start to run out of memory on the system. That's pretty much it. Multiple generations, sure. That's something that is important for senior developer, our application architect to know. First generation, second generation, absolutely. You should know those. That said, with the amount of memory that's allocated on systems, if you're building just a typical website or a typical application, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The card table in garbage collection is not general knowledge. No, it's not. You had that GC Gen question a couple weeks ago for a senior SRE job. I believe it. I require all interviewees to be able to implement church encoded. How do you overcome the questions like, what is your current salary? You don't tell them. I'm not ready to negotiate. I'm not ready to discuss salary requirements yet. I want to learn more about the opportunity before I discuss salary requirements. And I'm not going to tell you my current salary requirements until I learn more about your organization. Turn it around. What's the salary band that is offered for this opportunity? And I'll tell you whether that's enough for me or not. My current salary is my business until I have a business relationship with your organization. Folks on this stream have asked me several times, and I've flatly deny it. Folks have asked me for what my salary is, and that's not something that I share publicly. There are places that you can look online that will tell you the salary bands for employees in different titles at my employer. You can go and look at that. I can tell you that those numbers for me are not accurate. So, you're welcome, Torvik. Seems like I understood. I told them on my interview that in C# nowadays, process of garbage collection is automated and they were not satisfied. Well, then they're going to have a real problem. Garbage collection's always been automated. You can force the garbage collection to run, but when you force the garbage collection to run, it might not reclaim things for you. It might not. And that's a thing. So, when you got your first computer, I agree with you, Allure the Crow. Don't tell them. It's not their business until you have a business relationship with them. And even then, your salary history is your business and your business alone. They need to know how much they're going to pay you. That's it. And if they offer you significantly more than you previously got offered, fantastic. I've had conversations, I'll share this with you. I've had conversations with potential employers where they've asked me my current salary, and I've refused to tell them, but I'll say, in order for me to accept this position, I'm looking for a salary of X. Now, what I don't tell them is X is my current salary plus at least 20%. What these folks will do is they'll then negotiate you down. Oh gosh, you know what? We were only looking at offering X plus 10%. Now we negotiate. Well, you know what? I might be able to make it work, but by accepting X plus 15%. Right? If we were to throw some solid numbers at this, right? Hey, I'm looking for $120,000 to join your organization is what I would offer. Well, we're only looking at offering 110 for this position. Can we make it 115 and call it even? And if they say yes, that's great. If they say no, So the frustrating thing and the time to walk away is I'll use those same concrete numbers again. They're not numbers that I've used, but let's throw some numbers out for discussion. When they say, how much is your current salary? I don't answer that. I say, well, I'm looking for $120,000 to accept this position. Right? Like I said, and that's X plus 20%. If I'm currently making $100,000, I would propose I'm looking for $120,000 to join your organization. What's happened to me in the past is the employer that I'm meeting with will come back and say, well, you know what? We can only offer $90,000. To which I put up the roadblock at that point and say, you're lowballing me by 30%, 40%. That is not the respect that I'm looking for in an employer. I want, can we do any better than that? Because this is the salary that I need. And in my scenarios, 9 times out of 10, they've said, no, we can't do any better than that. And at that point I say, well, then there's nothing more to discuss here because you don't want to meet my salary requirements, and I end negotiations at that point. Several times I've been a month into negotiations and interview processes, and they've spent a lot of money to interview me at that point. That's their problem at this point. You don't want to meet that requirement? That's your problem, not mine. I've told you what my requirement is. Figure it out. Hey, President, not sure. You agree. Okay. You like how people say they'll find out what salary you are on when you give them your P45. You never give a history either? Yep. The yes if stage is very powerful. That's right, Allure. Edmund, how you doing there? Edmund says, on tech interviews, I would ask how a dictionary functions and what methods do you need to override on your class to make it work as a key. All right. That's a little low level. Frank says, sometimes not money advantages are also valuable. More vacation, more flexible hours, transport, parking, cover fees. So there are some companies in the tech space that believe that stock that they give you is more valuable than salary. Depending on where you are in your career, it may be, it may not be. When you agree to accept stock as compensation or stock options as compensation, you are taking a bet on the future of the company. Not just the future of the company, but the future of the economy. So if the company's product doesn't work well in the economy that's growing around it, are you going to get your 10, 20% increase on that stock that they've granted you? Maybe. Maybe not. In some scenarios that I have talked to folks in, it's paid off. It's paid off very well. In other scenarios, not so much. And they regretted it after 1 year. So, taking such a stance, the employers do not like that, and you'll have to deal with that fallout. What do you mean? What stance, President? Not sure. Be prepared to ruffle a lot of feathers. If an employer does not want to meet your salary requirements, that's their problem, not yours. So, you had the 5-year time served requirements waived in your last 2 jobs, ended up with maximum holiday allowance. Hey, nice. But more holiday time is nice if that's something that you find valuable. Go for it. The dictionary question is for a senior architect position. Okay. Allure ruffles a lot of feathers everywhere he goes. Okay. Saying that you're disrespected by some level of salary that they propose. Oh no. If they propose a salary that is 30 to 40% less than what you're saying your requirements are, that I think is disrespectful. I will absolutely call them out on that. Yes. Hang on. I'm asking you for something that is market qualified. When I look on the market websites for salaries in this role, in this geography, it's in the price range. It might be in the top 50% of that price range, but it's in the price range, and you want to offer me something that's at the bottom of that price range? That's disrespectful. No, it's important to know the salary ranges for what you're interviewing for before you go into it. I really like this discussion, and I'm happy to continue it for a little bit longer, and then we'll dive into the code. Back when Frank was a young dad, having more free time at home was extremely valuable. There you go. Okay. But it was also a long time ago. Yes. Oh, yes. It is. It's just business. Absolutely. And they can hold it against you, and that's fine if they want to hold it against you. You might not really want to work for a company that doesn't want to pay you what you're worth. Surly Dev asked about the longevity of the site. At one job, the newsfeed on the company website had news articles about a site closing. Ooh. They answered it by saying they had a new glass tank. The agent told me they got upset by the question. They emailed the agent 3 years later when that site closed. They made glass screens for CRT monitors. Yeah. So it's a fine balance. And the thing to understand and appreciate when you go into an interview process, not everybody's going to like everybody. And that's okay. For you as the employee, don't disrespect, don't show up the company that you're interviewing with. Do your research. Know what the pay scale is for the job that you're interviewing for. Know a little bit about the company that you're interviewing for, just like Surly Dev talks about here. So that you go to their website, read some of their news releases, know what's going on there around the product that you're going to be working on, or the processes that you're contributing to. Have an idea what you're getting into. And don't be afraid to ask about those things. So, all right, let's go back over to the code. Let's go dig back in here, shall we? Your kiddo is 22. Yes. My oldest is 21, and my younger is 18. And kids in college are a stressful thing. It is. Had an interviewer offer you a lower salary because you didn't have a degree from the University of Michigan. Sorry, we don't prejudice against non-Wolverines here. Yeah, Michigan. Sorry. We're Nittany Lions over here. Don't disrespect the company you are currently working for either. Agreed. You did that during an off-the-record chat. And they told you that was part of the interview process. Yeah. Yeah. So we've got a handful of things that we're going to work on here. Part of me thinks that we should really look at this one first. Putting together a default theme. But I think this is going to be someplace that we want to start with. Let's figure out what that initial startup experience is. What's required? and get you into starting your first Sharp site application. It would be great to do the default theme. And I think the default theme, we're very bootstrap oriented right now in the current configuration. And I think there's something easy that we can do there. Maybe even grab a community bootstrap theme and move some of the layout around a little bit so that it's easy to get started with. If you don't have anything nice to say about your current past employer, don't say anything. Agreed, Jens. And the most that I would say about my current past employer is you know what? I didn't get the opportunity to grow my career in the way that I wanted to. The product that I was working on was moving in a direction that I didn't ethically agree with. I've had that response to folks. The business that we were working in, there was legislation that was passed that prevented us from being able to invest further in the product that we were developing. That's happened to me, where the government has passed regulations and it's prevented us from being able to develop a product further. So the worst you said about a previous employer was the anti-labor lawsuit made national news. I worked for a pharmaceutical company, and quite frankly, one of the reasons that I decided to leave was that they had to issue several recalls around a pair of products, and I did not feel ethically. I did not feel like I was working for an ethical organization that was recalling medicines that were supposed to help folks. I had a real challenge with that, and I wanted to move away from that industry. And that's something that I think folks can appreciate. Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm kind of between these two, default theme and out-of-box startup. We might be able to do something simple here to move this along without going kind of overboard designing and pushing something here. Problem that's emerging now is that they think they can cut positions, pay less due to AI. Oh, that's a whole nother kettle of fish coming. That's a whole nother kettle of fish. Just use Fluent UI too. So, starting with President Not Sure's comment here about being able to pay less due to AI, that's not the case. If you've watched any of this stream over the last 2 weeks, some of the things that Copilot has suggested have not been valuable resources, and it's been frustrating. It's been something that we've struggled with, and we've had to go and write ourselves. So no, don't show it in there. No, I want to add it to the story. How do you overcome the questions like, no, that's not it either. What? Go back to that's... No. I should make it a featured clip, but... This one. Copilot, sometimes you are the dumbest smart guy. It is. Sometimes it's the dumbest smart guy. There are some times where Copilot and the AI can be really productive and really help you and do some amazing things that are going to make you productive. But it's important that we have a human there to double check that it isn't putting things together that are nonsense. And in that clip's example, it was suggesting to add references to projects that didn't exist. It was suggesting to build and write code that could not compile. References to projects that didn't exist, references to packages that didn't exist. Remember, AI, large language models, are a text calculator. That's it. All it does is it knows how to calculate what's the next text that's most likely to appear given a scenario and a prompt. The bean counters feel differently. Let's ask them what they feel, how they feel about using AI to process and do accounting work. Let's see what they think of that. Thank you, Surly Dev. I appreciate it. You think the non-deterministic nature of LLMs will make it hard to replace programmers, says Sally the Goose. I agree, because it's not just robust enough. Yes. And folks are trying to build agents to make it better so that you have AIs checking and enhancing what AIs deliver. Talking to the AI and getting ideas out of it is a big deal. The bean counters are the ones that will lay us off first before it gets to them. Let's fix that. Let's see if we can... Let's bring up Copilot and see if we can get it to generate a simple theme for us. Not just a theme, but a little bit of a layout that we can use for this. So I'm going to open a new window. That's not a new window. I'm going to open... There we go. Because I'm not going to dox myself by showing the other things that I've asked Copilot about. But, hey, how can I help? Using Bootstrap CSS, generate a simple theme for a blog framework that uses, I like Steel Blue. Steel Blue as a default primary color. There we go. Give me something to get me started here. And it's got a nav bar on the side before the content in the middle, and a footer at the bottom with a handful of script here. Popper.js, Bootstrap CDN. That's a lot of GitHub. That's a lot of GitHub. First things first. What do we got? Let's delete a couple things here, shall we? Pull to start. All right. We're going to get rid of fix CI scripts, fix user requests. Get rid of those. V06 we don't need anymore because we merged it. Right, the only branch that we... I thought we merged you. Yeah, we did. So we can delete that. Behind, ahead. Yeah, that's merged. Yeah. All right. So we have two branches. Main and the GitHub pages. Oh, that reminds me. Over here. Come on. Suggested to take a look and include the video for this. Right. Really? I want to view raw. Right? And you're not gonna... You make me sad. I wanted to view that in the browser. No matter. I'm going to merge this. Merged, and it should publish. There it is. Build and deploy the public website. How you doing there, Arab Gamers Club? Am I using Python? No. Nope. Building, report build status, deploying. Come on now. Should be like that. There it is. So now if we go to Sharp site, it's still got this blue in the background. Right? Also, it doesn't scale very well. No. Right? It's like... Public website. Logo doesn't scale with browser. On different size browsers, it's impossible to see the entire header video for the Sharp site logo on the public website. Da, 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 da. That was created with Blender. So there's static images for it out there, but it doesn't all show up on screen. Hey there. Thank you so much for the follow. So it's using Bootstrap Min and setting the primary steel blue, the navbar, the jumbotron, and some of these other things, so that it's using the primary color, and flipping the button primary so that it's using dark blue. I think there's more to this, and I think we also want to move around the layout on the admin site. The admin pages. I think the rest of the site we're going to want to allow folks to theme and have more of a generic look and feel to get started. I could start down and do more with this. Oh, I was finishing the branch work. I am so all over the place today. Oh my gosh. Set up the V07. V07 and set up that. There we go. So V07 for me is going to track the upstream shared repository. Where'd it go? Over here. I think there's a lot more to this than just these initial couple items. Because there's the whole user management that needs to be moved around, and how that gets themed and how that gets presented. How you manage your profile, stuff like that. Let's do this. We've got a very big solution here that we're working on. If I go down into here, SharpSite Web, right? I've got the whole admin area down here. And even when we're admin layout, that's where I want, right? This is the layout that it's using for all of the admin pages. I could force the theme from here so that everything that's in this area uses it. Hey, Mythin. Hello. And I could also use that default appearance for the home pages, for the startup experience as well. Kind of kill a little bit of both at the same time. Let's do a little bit of that. I'm going to add a folder here. And I think not you. Move that into there. What do I have in app.js? Let's organize this a little bit. Think back over to here. I think I'm doing some things that are going to get us into here. Get that setup started. So, feature out of the box. OOTB. Out of the box. So I moved app CSS up there. Where was that being referenced? Let's make sure I get that referenced appropriately. Right there. Fantastic. Anywhere else? App.css. Nope, that's the only place. Well, that was easy. How about app.js? I bet you it's right there. So let's also put down a JS folder, as much as I don't want to have JavaScript. Yeah. Okay. And we should probably have images in another folder. Favicon, I think we actually need to have up at the top. What is our favicon right now, anyway? No! It's the default Blazor icon. Well, we're going to want to get rid of that. But we'll leave that there, and these two we'll move into here. Right there. All right. What was the other one? Plugin dash icon. Plugin dash icon. Okay. Just a little bit of moving some things around here. Yeah. Placed a public website files in CSS, IMG, and JS folders. Now that should push up to... Yeah. Origin. So that's on my branch. My repository. Okay. So I've got those couple things moved around. Now if I want to start introducing this admin color experience that's being suggested over here by Copilot, and we start iterating on that, I can put under CSS, right? If I do that Control-Shift-A experience, that's not it. Control-Shift-A, there we go. And call this admin CSS for the colors that we're going to put into the admin area. And if I do like these, I don't know if these will work or not, but hey, let's put them in here. In admin layout, if I want that to appear as part of the CSS in the header of it, right? This inherits from main layout. Down here, main layout, right? So I can add some more content by adding it to the head section. So if we do that, right? Yeah, section content. No. Section name, right? Yeah. No, I didn't want to. Yeah. Like that. And I should be able to do now link. Yep. Type equal yep, rel equals style sheet. Type equals text CSS. There we go. And href. Really? Admin see that? All right. So that should now apply it to everything in my admin areas. Ads have just kicked in. Those of you that are here, thank you so much for your support. Let me see here. Yeah, we're good. All right. So what did that do to the site? I don't know. Let's take a look. Right. So what are you up to today, chat room? I know a bunch of folks said, "Hey, it's a bank holiday." What are you thinking? What are you working on today? You just taking the day to be with friends, family? What are you doing on this, for many folks, bank holiday? We have off today, so I'm using it to write code and hang out with you folks out there. Here we go. My .NET Aspire dashboard is starting up here. There we go. And we should see this connect because it says it's running. Hello. There we go. So if I log in and get into the admin area, right? Admin at localhost. I forget what the password was. Pass 123 like that. No. Admin 123. There it is. And if we go into site admin now, hey, look. I don't think it changed too much. You're writing Azure functions in Aspire? Nice. Your DM. I did look at that. Let me get back to you on that, Myth, and I'll respond to that today. Yeah. It didn't do much here in this admin area to change the way that this behaves. All right. Perhaps the admin area doesn't have the things on the left for the main layout. Including that, then. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Which means I need to bring this in. If I drop that. And it means I also need this. Let's see. You're currently experiencing a situation where you have tons of ideas but zero time. Yes, Mythin. I'm in that too. I am very much in that quagmire. It is. Now I'm clicking into this and it's not going anywhere. Why? Like, I spent a ton of time yesterday working on Project Charlie. A ton. But I didn't get very far very fast on it because I wasn't set up and optimized for the way that I work best. Right? I gotta log in again? Why don't you remember that? If I go into site admin, that works, but this doesn't anymore. This doesn't exist. It's head content. Still not loading properly. What did I do? Uh-oh. Phil!
Phil Vesey cheered 100 bits for the Azure invoice.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the cheer. Yeah. So our Azure invoices have been going up. McNets asks, will I retake test accountability? What do you mean by retake? Will I revisit it? Yes. I think we might have some tools out there that we stumbled on that might do what we're looking for. Yeah, we'll work on it again. Absolutely. Why isn't the... well, that's definitely a thing. Okay, that worked. If I try and go down into here, it doesn't work. Trying to go to site admin. Why? This page. What did I break? And I brought this in also. Failed to start. Well, that's not good. No, you didn't. Try that again. Yeah, I definitely saw a bunch of comments and feedback on test accountability. We'll get back to that. Here. Yep, loaded, loading. Gotta log back in again. Admin 1, 2, 3. Okay, site admin. Nothing. Seriously? Layout admin layout, and it's right there. Huh? Right, if I roll this all back... So why does it break? Right, if I take this out... What's it hanging on? But put that back in. And it works again. Ah, boy. What does main layout have? I mean, is it that? Like, the theme isn't... This isn't a thing that it's required to run. Like, okay, let's do this. Go back over here. Right? And if I say this is head content, right? Now, it doesn't know what that is. The heck? Yeah. Still... How you doing there, Warm Peas? Hello. Like, the localizer isn't there. I would expect it to fail and say, oh, I don't know what this is. Hey, Jezarian, hello? Right, I really don't want it to do that. And I don't have to inject localizer because it's being injected for me up top here. So I'm okay on that too. Like, yeah. If I comment all of this out except for... Right? So it's literally doing nothing except just output what's in the body. Could not load type. Really? Yeah, we need to restart. Eat broke. I did too much. What do we got? Okay. There it is. I'm logged in. And it won't let me get into the admin stuff. That's not me. So it's trying to load index here. Yeah, what's it hanging on? Fine. Nothing. Nothing in the error log. But it will not load that admin page. That's weird, man. Layout admin layout, which means it should load this. But unless I inherit that, now it loads. What the heck? Does it matter if I move it over here? Right, and I say, right, layout, admin layout. Right? That shouldn't do anything, right? We've had multiple layouts before. Starting, running, go. Okay. And if in admin layout, I take that out. That's weird, man. That's weird. Comment? I'm uncommenting you. And you. And you. And of course you. You can do that. Okay. That looks good. There went my coffee. Hey, Goku Jax. You hope I invite Scott, Scott, who is that? Lashin to talk about F# again, like at .NET Conf? There's Dr. Scott. There's .NET Conf content coming. We're working on a couple things, and I should have more to share in the next week or two. Kid Love Tech 74. Hello. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you joining us. Smirking squiggly with the Scott command there. Yeah. I don't necessarily like. I don't know. It's my admin site. Like, and also the width is off here. Noterful, thank you for the follow. And I want to do something about the content of some of this stuff here. The file already contains the following. That's not bad. Like, mm, I feel like after here we want to put like a separator so that plug-in stuff appears below it. I don't like how wide this is.
Great Scott!
What about him? No, there's nothing going on with him. Roll navigation aria large 3, large 9. That should. Well, we're inside of this. I don't think we need this outer div. And I don't think we need... What the heck is that? Do we need a div class page around this thing? Right, something like that. A little bit better, but I'm still got this stupid slider bar at the bottom. I don't want the horizontal navigation. You don't need it. Right, that HR isn't going the full width. Drop a like. Oh. Thank you, Surly. I'm going to cut down on the width, and the highlight over here I want to be this color, and I think we just want site management. I don't think we want the H1 up there. Really? Why won't you delete? Yeah, I still have the... What is overflowing horizontally? What the heck? No. Like, I could just force the issue. Go over to Firefox and see what it says. Let's move you to the bottom because we're looking at this horizontal overflow. You can see it. There's a gap right up top there. That's fine. There, the row. You see the row takes up the whole thing? There's 3. There's a... Is it the padding right on the row? No. No, it's not that. There's something else there. Click where it says overflow. Where? It isn't showing me anything. It's showing me that there is padding right, padding left. And if I turn that off, I still have the... See, that div... Right? Is showing that it's taking up the full width. And if I take off the margin right, it's this one. Yeah, if I take off both margins there on that row, I'm okay with making that whole thing margin 0. Which is here. Margin 0. Right, and if we go back over to this one... There, now I don't have the horizontal scroll bar. And I have decent spacing up here. So, okay. Ads on Twitch start in 30 seconds. I need to fix the colors over here. Right? So the nav items... Let's go back over here. No, this one. I also want nav items and nav pills to be in the new primary color. See what it says. Okay. I'll add that. This one. There it is. I don't think the text is in that either. Nav link. Yeah, nav link, var color, primary. Yeah. I also think we don't need to make it that wide on the left side. I'm gonna make this 2 and 10. Better. That's okay. And we should separate in here just before this. Add a separator bar before the plugins configuration. Really? Is that how you do that? I don't know. Copilot suggested it. It's gotta be good. Let's see what it says. It looks like Restream isn't relaying messages back and forth. Lies. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, that's better. All right. I'm okay with that. I do need a way to go back to the website. Return to site. Come on. Yeah. Nav item. And why is that all? It doesn't need to be a nav link? Class equals nav link. href equals. Return to website. Now see. Oh, I need to do match all, right? Yeah. No, what is it? Yeah, thanks. Right here, that's a Navlink match. Navlink. I'd really like to be able to see what everything that's in there. There we go. So now I can click that and jump back to the site. I can go back over here. Okay. Not terrible. Sony Fritz Bits thinking about spending some. Oh, and you want light mode. Sure, we can do that. Let me commit what I've got here. Initial coloring and theme for site admin. Cool. All right. You want me to go to light mode? We will do light mode. I hit the button. Light mode. Ah, there it goes. And tools, theme, blue. Light mode. Incoming flashbang, kind of. There you go. All right. Now, let me back up. Which of these configuration items do we need to actually start running the website? I think that's a fine default. Just let it stay at 10 meg. Your eyes? 15 minutes. I think the language settings are probably all right for a start. We don't have a way to invite users yet. And we also don't have a nice way, like, we've removed the pages that have to do with external logins. But I think this layout and this interaction needs to be simplified, standardized, made a little bit more flexible so that folks can convert and change this to behave the way they want. What? Ugh. All right. Where the heck did that phone number come from? I don't know. I can't. Okay. But I think these pages need to be improved a bit. Oh, let's see. I What goes in the startup experience? Here's the default user. Would you like to create a new user and give them admin access? Help me out here, chat room. Um, um, create your first admin user. Remove the default user. Maybe. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Where is it for GitHub? Where is light mode here for this one? Where is GitHub? No. Settings? Where is GitHub theme? Appearance in my settings? Oh, look at it over there. There you go. What the heck is this? Hang on. What is this? Orc ID. What? I've never heard of this before. Connecting research and researchers. I've never seen this. Yes, themes to choose from in the startup experience, I think, is absolutely something to be done. I've never seen that before. Yeah. Whatever. All right. Back over here. Not there. Looks like a OAuth. Nah, it's not OAuth. Dang. Create that pull request. This is the 07 release train. No. Milestone 0.7 release train. Really? Can we rebase this snot out of those things? Git checkout v07. Git log. Yeah, how am I going to get rid of them? Yeah, 06 is done. Yep. Selecting database and those things. I don't have that ready yet. I want to get rid of these. Right, if I go back to... Like, am I going to have to rebase the whole enchilada? Right, there's one of these merge branch main, and that's 25254. Right there. There's another one. 313. Yeah, it's the last one. How do I remove the merge branch commits from a PR in GitHub? Yeah, we can start building plugins. Oh, yeah. Git checkout, rebase, pick and drop. I've never done git cherry pick. Yeah. Six seven five 409 Charlie. Six seven five 409 Charlie. It's not here. Right, 3139. No. I don't think I wanted to do that. Oh, actually, maybe. Wait a sec. No. No, that was a bad idea. Bad idea. Delete the 07. Delete this. How do I delete this? I can't delete this. No. Oh boy. Leviani!
Leviani just resubscribed for 76 months. Long time no see. I need to move time zones to see your streams more often. Smile.
How you doing there? Great to see you. No, you don't need to move time zones, gosh. Let me delete the 07 and let's rebuild it. Right, so... if I run git log here, there's those merge branch mains. Start that back up. Okay. Set up the pull request for 09. 07, I'm sorry. Really? Oh, shoot. There it is. Yeah, see, look at all these. Merge branch, merge branch. I don't care. Milestone 0.7. Release trim. All right. And this is going to go into the 07. Let's call this admin theme and initial out of the box experience. And I'm going to create this as a draft. Okay. Got a little more work to do here. You missed the good old days with SVN? Ugh. Don't do that to me. Let's drop out of there, and we're going to head back over to full screen coding. And I can go back into here and appearance, and we can go back to dark mode. Thank you. All right. Well, we were talking about the out-of-the-box experience. Why can't I scroll? Thank you. And we want to do like create first user with admin access. Select database config. Select theme. What else? Set name for the site. Set logo for the site. We don't really have one. Yeah, I think these are plugins, but we don't have a way to define those plugins. Oh, theme we do. Database we don't yet, but selecting theme, but we don't have a way to deliver those plugins yet either. So do we need to do the plugin delivery site? Or do we just point to a collection on GitHub for now? Thinking. There was also an interesting idea that I saw about... You want to go ahead and give the web shop plugin a try? Well, so I don't think we're going to need... It's not really right. The storefront for the list of plugins that are available. I think we're going to be able to do that from GitHub directly. I'm going to step away for just a minute. Nature calls. I will be right back in just a minute, all right? Stay tuned. All right. Another GitHub pages? Yeah, I think we could do, for an initial simple getting started, right? Let's not build the Cadillac. Let's get something that just runs. Heck, we could probably do it off of the existing GitHub pages, right? Just have a folder plugins that hosts a little JSON file that is the catalog of plugins and those binary files for the few plugins as we build them. So, right? Ads just kicked in. Right, so if you go to sharpsite.org right now, right? Fancy. I don't like that it repeats. I wish it would stop at the end. But, right, we could certainly have a section here, plugins. Click here to see the list of plugins and have it show just a formatted page of here's the list of plugins that we currently have available. How very fantastic four of you, UNESCO. And a JSON file that's available that lists those that we could mine from inside the site. So Mythin, if you'd like to do that, let's just create just a pair of pages in a /plugins folder on the main page here, off of this, right, the public website, that just has, here's the list of plugins and details about them, just hard-coded for now. Because right now the only people building plugins are, right, the right now it's only me at this point, but it'll grow to be about the half dozen of us that are actively participating and contributing here, and then it'll grow further beyond that. And as it grows, then let's add that automated system that will allow uploads and put that in the proper place and catalog and render the content. For right now, we can just hard code the couple things that we have here, copy paste information out of the documents. Like, eventually we do need a website that'll run, and you're right, it'll probably live on Azure somewhere, that will deliver and host that content. And we can probably put the plugins inside of a Azure Blob Storage. But we're not there yet, where we need that level of complexity. Having a repository that we can point to and say, hey, here's a simple Bootstrap looking theme. So, but by then we might have a premium system of some sort to pay for that. Yeah, Mythin, totally on board. Yes, right? And let's face it, by that time, that's 6 months or more down the road. But totally accurate as we grow and push in that direction. But for right now, where we want to just have a startup process where we can say, hey, choose a theme. Hey, choose a database provider. Or give me the connection string information for the database provider. Right? We can step through and put some of that in. Let's add some AAD app registration and allow self-hosted plugins from different tenants. So yes, and yes. Those are the complexities that we're not quite ready for yet. But yes, self-hosted plugins, right? That's the advanced user persona, right? Right, there's three types of user personas that we declare here. The non-technical user that wants to set up a simple website and doesn't really care. The web developer that just wants to change a little bit of HTML, a little bit of CSS to update the look and feel of the site. And then the integrator who wants to be able to completely customize. The integrator, to your point, Leviani, is going to write and build their own plugins to inject and use. Yes. And because of how we've built the plugin system, that shouldn't be too hard for somebody to do. Have a good one, Smirking Squiggly. Thanks for tuning in. So shippable in a Docker container we've got. Yeah. Okay. So going back to the issue. We don't really have anywhere to specify a name for the site. It's right. The name doesn't really appear anywhere. And we don't have a way to specify or set a logo. We also want Yes, edited. That's right. Edit some more. Set a fav icon. Fav icon for the site. We should probably have a default fav icon generated. Right? Could probably just grab the S from the SharpSite logo and make that the fav icon to start. Can we do? Is that something I can do quick? Am I capable of doing that? I don't know. SharpSite. Image. No. This one. Hey, great. Install when I exit. Right, if I wanted to make the fav icon like just that S, right? Something about there, right? And if I want to get a little bit, see, and that's 220 by 186. Thank you for the follow. Hello. Appreciate you joining us. 210 by 168, so it's 210 wide. So if I made it, if I expand the canvas, right? Image, canvas size, right? Go in the middle like this, right? And we make that 210. That's not bad, right? And go somewhere over here. Source, web, root. Let's replace fav icon. Yes. Did that do it? Did that do the thing? I still got the old fav icon. Fav icon PNG. What do you mean page not found? Because I didn't spell it right, that's why. Yeah, there it is. Ah, there it is. There we go. All right. So the fav icon is now showing up, and it's the default SharpSite S. Cheesy, but it works. Is it ugly? Is it, how big is that file? Root. Fav icon, it's 11K. That's fine. Right. Git commit. Updated fav icon to be the SharpSite S. Okay. Okay. I don't really have anywhere for you to specify the name for the site. And I don't have anywhere that actually like appears and does something. This I would like to eventually be SharpSite hosted. Right? Like generate and make this from SharpSite. so that SharpSite hosts itself. Well, I broke that. Oh, because I moved it. Sure. And we can change the theme back. Oh, we can change the theme back. All right. It's like in layout or something like that. Yeah, there it is. That should be image logo P. Logo web P. All right. So I still have a channel point redemption out here for Viking font. Who requested that? Oh, and I see. And we have a Thanos request. Really? Really? I'll do both. Still didn't pick it up. Slash image. Stash that. Fine, restart it. Show me what you got. And then we'll do Viking font and we'll do Thanos. Come on. I did the fav icon in the 07 branch. There, that's updated and that works also. Okay. But I was saying I don't have anywhere that I think the name appears. And the title is just title. And if I go to the post, there's the site name. I don't have anywhere that really appears just yet. Yep, Future Tech. Oh, you have a fix? Where did you send the pull request? And why did this fail? Because nothing ran properly. Here are those playwright tests. It's still downloading. See what we get. Website's running the tests. Boom, all successful. Fantastic. Okay. I could rerun it over here, but I'm not interested in that right now. But being able to set the name and having it appear in that SEO content. Right, so that's on like display post. SEO header tags. Which we don't have on the pages. Where'd it go? Okay. Added as a comment on GitHub issue. Oh! Header, background 0, video, max width. Let's give it a shot. I should be able to jump over here. And on here. Da, 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 da. On header, do background. Clean that up. And the other one was on the video. Oh. Don't think we have a video tag. That's not a preview. That's sure. All right, we're gonna have to wait for a deploy. Then we can take a look. Mm-hmm. Uploading the artifacts, post checkout. Here's the deploy piece. Create a deployment. Go ahead, push it out. Success. There we go. Nice black background. And when we shrink, there we go. Thank you. That's much better. Much appreciate. What is it? All contributors. Add as a code contributor. Right? Yeah. Good. Merged changes and the public website looks good. There we go. Da, da, da. There we go. Thank you so much. And we'll add you as a contributor down there for that little bit of help. Appreciate the insight there, and yeah, now it looks proper. Big thanks. So we've got this concept of a site name, but we don't have anywhere for it to reside yet. So I think we need to add that configuration option, and we need to get these SEO header tags as necessary on some of these other base pages for the site. I also think the About page is going to... There's the About Sharp site page that we should probably hide inside of the admin area so that the admin sees it, and then the About page that users can control and build for themselves that contains their information. Mythin. No. There's other Microsoft products that would be chosen for that first. But this bit here, picking up and using a configuration for the site, right? Admin site settings. Right now we have max size for uploads. Language settings. I think we want to have site name first. Site logo I don't know about yet, but I think site name we should at least have here first. So let's add that. What is this one? This is... And then robots text. Yeah, let's add another group first. Sure, I'll do the same. MB2. Label 4 equals site name. We're going to need to localize this. Site name. And then we're going to need an input text. Yeah. ID equals site name. Bind value site name. Yeah. And then we'll put a paragraph. And we'll do the same validation message for model.site name. And that doesn't exist yet, so we're going to end up creating it. Right? Yeah, we're working here. Yeah. So someone down here. There we go. I'll put the site name first, and that should be required. Let's put a max length. I don't know, 50? 50 sounds good. Public string, site name. Now, what doesn't it like about that? We're going to make that. Yeah, I'm working here. I'm working here. There we go. Model site name equals application state. Site name. That doesn't exist yet. Site name equals sharp site. Okay. I know. I'm working on this. I'm working on this. So we're going to jump over to... Well, actually, what I should be able to do is... You fool! Can't do it. Would be huge if I could replace dev blogs. I think the folks who run Orchard would like to do that first. And they've got a heck of a lot more invested there to do that before me. Ooh. There we go. Public string site name. Yeah, like that. Now, why don't you like that? Fine. No. There we go. Let's do the same thing with you. No. What? All right. I don't know why these are all... Are the Orchard folks rebuilding the dev block? No. But the Orchard folks have much more time invested. Work closely with, and some of them are part of the .NET team. And Orchard is a massive content management system. And that's a whole nother... Yeah. What do you mean can't find admin layout? Layout, admin, layout. Right there. I think we've got it. Let's see what happens. You know the CMS by name? Never really used it. Yeah. Yeah, Orchard's got a lot to it. There's that. Okay. Site admin. There it is. So if I change this, well, first off, if I delete that and try and save, yeah. Now, why do I have so many save buttons? Fritz's Wonder site. Nope, didn't save it. What do we got? I bet you in the save. Change culture settings. Change max size. Right, so it's not doing application, it's not copying the value in. I don't really want to add another save button. Like, if I were to merge these two, not bad. Then on this, application state, site name equals model dot site name. Navigate away, come on back, and it remembers. Still not showing any kind of indicator up there. What else? Need to put that now in the SEO header tags, which means I need to inject application state into that. I mean, no big deal. Which means then here, this becomes like that. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Aztec Consulting, hello. So, right, did I save that? I did. So if I go back to here, click into first post, and if we take a look, there it is. Site name, Fritz's Wonder Site. Good. I think we're good with you for now. Sure, go ahead and install that. Be my guest. I'm feeling lucky. Go ahead and install software in the background while I'm writing code and streaming live.
Yeah, show me how that works. Go ahead. Yeah.
Added site name to the... Don't commit it yet. Do the localization first. Where is it? This one. Here. Let's call this site name label. I'm working on it. I know. Back here. This. Label on admin pages that allows customization of the website name. I know. Bring that over to the English one. And let's go generate some translations. Shall we? Source, sharp site, web, locale. It's not here. I thought I had... No matter. Right, sharp translator. Go get that. Is that going to work here? I don't know. Really? 1217. Sure, grab that one. And go into... Nope, not there. Okay. What do we got? Where's the EXE? There's no EXE here. You're coming with me. I'm just pasting it in here because I feel like it. Shared resource en resx. Yeah, didn't think so. Get back over there. Do this again. Right, and I want shared resource en. Cool. Let's go see what it looks like. Starting the site. It didn't save. Even though I called application state save there. I have no idea what that is. Site name, Fritz's Wonder Site. Something's not loading correctly. The label's correct. Oh wait, at load time, there's a. Yeah, here it is. I didn't include that. No, that should be at the bottom. Yeah. Restart the website. There it is, restarted. Back over here. This is rejoining, and I expect to see. There it is. All right, fixed. And if we were to change this to say German. Still says site name. There it is. I think that's right. Right? Return to website. We need to do that one also. That's not. Oh, yes, I'd like to be on English. Thank you. There it goes. All right. What was that other block of text? Let's do that one real quick, and then I'm going to call it a day here, I think. It was on the nav menu, wasn't it? Return to website. No, it was the admin nav menu. This one. Return to website. Return to website. Is that right? Lower W. Link text on admin portal that returns the user to the public website. And once again, in case you haven't seen how this works, this comment feeds into the AI to give it context for what the text is presenting. That way, we hopefully get something that is a little bit more accurate for the various languages. So if we go look at the German now, zurück zur website. Yeah, return to website. So I will now update here so that that's using localizer, right, it's shared resource, return to website. There it is. That should work. No. Actually. Right, I can just do that. Can I? There it goes. Ah! I need to rebuild, don't I? So that it has the resource, because I just added the resource. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. No, don't restart paint.net. We're done. There we go. Return to website. And if we change to German, there it is. Cool. All right. Commit those changes. And we even did a little AI translation today. Added the ability to set the site name. Now, we're going to update and we're going to add a welcome screen when you first run the website that allows you to customize that same site name entry from there. But we actually needed that setting to be defined to start with here, right? So we've got that in the mix. There's more to do. We still need to come through and do some sort of a default layout for the public website. That's coming. I think the default layout that we have for the admin site isn't too far off. It's not too far off. No, 06 is merged. 06 is absolutely merged. It's merged. And if you look at the pull requests, there it was. The 06 release train 4 days ago. You can't see this because I'm not showing my screen. Here's the 06 milestone. And this was merged 4 days ago. I deleted the branch, the 06 branch, earlier today. So, yep. All merged up. Is there a concept of current culture? Yes. That's, if you look at the, at the bottom of the nav menu, there's a language picker here. And there's a set culture bit that goes on. Yeah. To force the culture, and that comes off of that's it. That's an API sitting out here, and I forget exactly where it is. Language selector, app raiser, language picker. It's not in the locales. Configure request localization here. No. No, that's the configuration. There's an API that sets it. Where'd it go? Right, this is navigating to culture, and it's passing in that whatever the culture is. So where is that? Oh, it's setting that query parameter. But still, something needs to pick up and answer that. There it's setting the cookie. But it does have a sense of it, but it's not for the current thread. It sets it... Where is it? So it's going to be under, like... it's not on the entire solution. It's in the current project. It's not the localization record. Where'd it go? It's not in admin because everybody can do it. Inject options. So this generates a URL with culture on the end of it. Culture equals whatever value was selected. And that is... No, there's all the resources. Yeah, I don't see it. There was a place where it said... Right there, it's selecting one, and it should be picked up over here on initialized. And based on what your preference is, save that cookie. But I don't see it. There was a thing that did that. That searched for the parameter, the culture parameter, and added it. It's not there. I don't think it's here on the... No. I wonder if that's a custom thing that the culture configuration does here with the request localization options. That might be it, and that setting that culture is coming in from there. So, I do need to run. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Let me see who else is streaming that I can get you connected to on the big Twitch TV network. Let's go join Lana Lux. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to do some more coding on this. We're going to get into some of that initial configuration. We laid the groundwork for working on the out-of-the-box configuration. Big steps here. And we also did some introduction of a site name to customize on the website, adding that into application state, and adding the translations for a couple of those labels as we moved some things around on the configuration of the website. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you tomorrow, but until then, I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.